Which cheap and mass-produced item is stupendously well engineered? Soda/beer cans. The design has existed for decades with few changes. It's a way of using a relatively small amount of cheap metal to withstand the pressure of carbonated beverages with a reliable opening mechanism. During pandemic, I also noticed that some companies stopped using thicker material on the upper ridge of the can, probably due to supply shortages. They instead used a sort of step system that appeared to be almost as strong. The zipper. It's a very cheap mechanism that secures objects in a very neat fashion. No wonder it's used in most objects that need to be opened and closed, such as luggage and jackets. Lego. When's the last time you got 2 bricks that didn't fit, or that were loose? The humble corrugated cardboard box. It's lightweight, strong, splash resistant, somewhat padded, doesn't break down in heat/cold, scratch resistant, recyclable, biodegradable, and able to be assembled cheaply into any size. The basic design has existed for over 150 years. The retail shipping industry runs on cardboard boxes. The lighter. Spontaneously ignite fire basically whenever you want. Screws. Can you imagine what would happen if all the screws suddenly disappeared from world? Everything would fall apart. The brick. Made out of mud and lasts for centuries, and the way it can distribute load for large buildings. Synthetic diamonds. We can grow them in labs, and they are pure carbon, which is extremely abundant. Also, one metric for determining a naturally formed diamond and a synthetic diamond is that the synthetic ones are too pure to have been naturally formed. The transistor. Glass bottles. Let's melt this rock into a clear, brittle material and turn it into what? Windows? Decorations? Screens? No, we're making pressure vessels, baby. LEDs. Cheap diodes, even colors. Okay, I dislike the blue ones, but tint them and you get warm white. Road reflectors, countless lives saved. Tires. They are a part of the vehicle's suspension, displace water, take serious loads in multiple directions, and work across a large temperature range. The engineering and material science behind them is fascinating. Those containers used to store Chinese food. They are durable, compact, keep the food hot, and don't really leak. They also collapse into a plate if you choose to. My favorite thing might be they don't take up much space in the rubbish bin either. Great product, and must cost less than a cent. Batteries are marvels of engineering packed tightly into a minuscule canister. Even AA batteries are incredibly sophisticated internally. Tough question. I'd say stainless steel cutlery. How many other things in life are used almost every day, then machine washed, thrown haphazardly into a drawer, and regularly survive in a working condition for much more than a century? Hard drives. Fucking spinning glass disks that hold terabytes of data. Box wine spouts. They flat out don't leak. Not even a drop. The second you release the button, that's it. Impressive tolerances for such a cheap product. Tarps. A mother-in-law lion tasks for them. They're incredibly versatile. Make a shelter, make a floor, make a carriage vessel, make a weatherproof housing for firewood or anything outdoors you want protected. Use it at a picnic. It's better than a blanket on the ground. Because of the threading, they're still mostly effective even when a tear develops. And because of that same threading, they can distribute weight and hold up against snow and rain buildup. Then you can just take it down, spray it with a hose if needed. It's good as new. Fold it up to a compact form, and toss it in a corner until you need it next. You are never far from a store or gas station that sells them for cheap. Always keep one in your trunk. Zip ties. Such a simple piece of plastic but so versatile. I have one of the old-fashioned chain link fences. Some of the fasteners on the middle poles broke, and in high winds the fence was swaying like crazy. A half dozen zip ties on the 3 posts, and it doesn't budge, and nobody even knows they're there. I am in awe of Casio's cheap wave scepter watches. They keep time in 2 time zones, have multiple alarms, stopwatch with split times, countdown with alarm, all with an accuracy of seconds in a month. They have a digital display, which in itself is a modern miracle, with LED backlighting for reading in the dark. They have radio receivers that can tune one of 4 atomic clock transmitters to reset themselves all on their own. They run on solar power but can recharge off any light, including indoor neons. The power management system means it can keep time for weeks without a recharge and sacrifice function for longevity. The rechargeable battery has a 10-year life. They are water resistant to 30 meters and made robustly. And they retail for about $20. Absolute modern miracles. Safety razors. The base will last you years. The blades can last 1 to 3 weeks, and the total for one base and 50 blades is like $30. They also give way better shaves than modern multi-blade razors as well. Toilets. They use nothing more than gravity to reliably flush. Doesn't use power at all. Carabiners. Cheap, easy to use, super useful for just about anything, and the higher grade ones, $30-ish dollars, can hold up a truck. What else needs to be said? Not exactly cheap, but I'm impressed that I can have a ceiling fan run on high for 15 years straight and not have it explode on me. Plastic bags. Cheap and can hold a decent amount of weight by itself. Oh, what's that? Is the thing you're carrying too sharp or heavy to carry in a plastic bag? Put it in another plastic bag. They do tend to end up in landfills though. As a new parent, diapers, disposable diapers in particular. Imagine being told as an engineer, you need to design a device to contain the vilest, grossest materials known to man. Both liquids and goopy solids. This device must have 3 tight seals against a constantly moving and wiggling life form of inconsistent size. Said life form has notoriously delicate skin, so the materials you can use are drastically limited. It must be able to be removed and installed in seconds by amateurs running on approximately 14 minutes of sleep. And it has to cost about 30 cents a unit. Computer processors, they're rocks we tricked into thinking. The collapsible camping chair. Nothing comes close to being as comfortable and convenient for cheap, portable seating. Junk food. Made with garbage, but the taste has been perfected between fatness, sweetness and saltiness to leave you always wanting more. The humble monoblock chair, commonly known as those white plastics chairs you can find absolutely everywhere in the world. I'd say the Raspberry Pi and probably more fundamentally the Pi 02W. It's dirt cheap at $15 and is a fully fledged computer. The intermodal shipping container, aka the Connex box. There are mother-in-law lions of the damn things all over the world, in use every single day. They are stackable, can be locked together, attach readily to ships, truck trailer frames, and rail cars, and can bear enormous loads. The cost of their manufacture compared to their economic use value over their useful lives is next to nothing. Dawn dish soap. My girlfriend literally uses it to clean everything in the house. This probably won't be a popular answer right now, but, ammunition. It has to be carefully manufactured to very precise tolerances. It has to function reliably, accurately and safely in all types of firearms, from 100-plus-year-old heirlooms to the most modern designs. Whistle. For a few cents, you can be heard in the middle of nowhere for nearly a mother-in-law. Much louder than your voice. Great if you are lost. The British electrical plug, often called the most over-engineered thing in the world. For those who don't know, our plugs are a marvel. We have 3 prongs rather than 2. The third prong is used to push a switch inside the socket that then allows the other 2 prongs to enter. This prevents items being pushed into the live and neutral sockets. No more electrocuted kids. It also contains a small fuse, so if the plug overloads, the fuse pops and TBE circuit is cut. This is especially useful against electrical fires. The wires of the plug face themselves face downwards, or upwards on occasion, making the plug sturdier and safer. Post-its. We had some chemical engineers from the Post-it division of R&D at 3M come into my high school chemistry class. The amount of work in creating a layer of adhesive that is effective and stays on the note so it can be reused without leaving residue behind is insane. There's actually 4 different compounds that are layered into the back of a Post-it, with the final adhesive being microscopic droplets spaced a precise distance apart so that there's no excess. The drip coffee maker. Water goes through a one-way valve and through the heating element under the carafe. That heats up the water, and only that water, which allows it to rise up and drip on the grinds. The same heating element keeps the carafe warm. Yes, it doesn't make the best cup or coffee, but the engineering is amazing. The seatbelt. The lives it has saved are incalculable. It was designed and patented by Volvo, who then let anyone use it for free. They patented it to stop an enemy of humanity, unethical competitor Ford, from patenting it first and keeping it for themselves.